and this is my happy place. So it just reminds you of like this is not gonna be around forever, and to enjoy every minute of it, because soon we're gonna be. We're not gonna be the bitter old heads. Can we all agree on that?
No.
We're not gonna be the bitter old heads that coming back hating on the younger generation, but definitely appreciation and admiration for what they're able to do too.
You gotta recommit to this game. Just like you sign a new contract, every time you get better as a player, I truly feel that you gotta recommit and sign that contract with yourself every so often. Like, all right, yeah, I'm 10, 12 years in, I got 4 MVPs and 4 championships. Like, but do I still want to do this shit? You know what I'm saying?
You know how hard it is.
Some people say, I want to go play baseball.
Right?
Yeah. And then I want to come back. Or some people say, I'm going to go 22 straight. So it's a contract I feel like you got to have with yourself, too, in order for you to be a, great ball player, or to have a long career. That's the goal, to be in the league for 20 years. I tell you, that's the goal. However you want to get there, but you gotta recommit to yourself before you commit to anything
else. Yo, I'm gonna keep this short. This your motherfucking boy, King Known Uncensored, and wow. The contradictions, the hypocrisy, the lies. Didn't these niggas just say that they wasn't going to be the bitter old heads hating? I don't care if it's old or young. We're not going to be the bitter old heads hating. Steph Curry put it out there because I don't see Steph talking bad about other players. Old or new. I don't see Steph Curry criticizing anybody. But you know who I do see criticizing people? LeBron James and Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant responds to people who tweet at him. I respond to. Kevin Durant has a right to respond to people, you know what I'm saying, who have never played basketball before. And that's okay. I don't have a problem with KD's responses. You know, some of them are very fucking funny. But, you know, niggas like me, you know, I know who to respond to, who not to respond to. But this is the thing, though. For what Kevin Durant said about Michael Jordan makes him a hypocrite. And then LeBron and Steve Nash over there laughing. Well, especially LeBron, because, you know, LeBron can't stand Michael Jordan. Well, I'm not going to say can't stand. I'm going to say he envies Michael Jordan because here we are in 2025. LeBron has played 23 years in basketball, right? This is his 23rd season. And the majority of the world still has Michael Jordan as the greatest player of all time over him. And that bothers him because, you know, he's accomplished a lot himself. He's done his big one too. But a lot of people, you know, don't have him as the greatest of all time. I surely don't. I don't have LeBron in my top 5. But that's not disrespectful, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm not disrespecting LeBron by saying that. I have a lot of reasons why I don't have LeBron in my top 5. But I'm not going to get into that because I want to make this video less than 10 minutes. So I'm going to wrap this shit up, B. But these guys are on Mind the Game looking very hypocritical out in these streets. You see, I like all eras of basketball. I respect all eras of basketball. Because, you know, there's this misconception about me that I disrespect current players when I call out certain things. You know, I got thrown to the woodshed. Motherfuckers wanted problems because I said that today's defense isn't like yesterday's defense. You know, I got criticized by saying that last year because there was an influx of 40-point games, 50-point games, 60-point games, 70-point games. Yes, the rules have changed. I understand that. People aren't allowed to be as physical as they once were. I understand that also. But what my issue was, the commitment to defensive effort. That's the issue. And then, I've also criticized today's players not necessarily playing 82 games anymore, not committing to playing 82 games anymore, which is why I'm glad the league stepped in and took away certain privileges as far as awards are concerned for players. Players have to play X amount of games to receive these awards. And I respected the league for doing that. But I've been consistent, though. I've been consistent. But I've always said about this generation of players is it's a young man's game. It's a new generation of players that are coming to take over the throne. And I've always said that it's time for the generation of the Curry, of the LeBron, of the KD. It's time for them to sit down. It's time for them to go home. I've made videos in my past. If you look, check the records, do some research, sit down and look at old King Known NBA Music Talk page. I've been saying that era of Curry, LeBron, and Durant is over. And the funny thing about it is, this isn't my era of basketball at all. I'm from the Kobe, T-Mac, Vince Carter era. And it was time. It was going to be that time when that era was going to be gone and extinct and over with. I knew it was that a time for a transition in the league. And that's when KD, Curry, and LeBron and Carmelo Anthony and those guys came into the game. But LeBron has to let it go. It's time for him to retire. He's never going to win another championship. Kevin Durant, it's time for him to retire. He's never going to win another championship. Now with this Rockets team, this team is a lot younger, so maybe they'll get to a Western Conference Finals. Maybe, even if that. But I still think he doesn't have a shot of winning another title. Steph Curry probably is the closest to possibly recapturing another title. If he could stay healthy, though, his body doesn't seem like, And all three of them suffer injuries throughout the season. So it's time for, if you see the changing of the guard, you see Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you see Nikola Jokic, you see Anthony Edwards, you see Tyrese Halliburton, you see Jalen Brunson, you see Cade Cunningham, you see Alperen Şengün, you see guys like that cut from that generation. I'm sure I'm forgetting mad niggas. But y'all get what I'm saying, though. Victor Wembanyama. It's time for those guys. These guys have to pass the torch to them and bow out gracefully, like the veterans that they were, like the veterans before them. Because you got to think about this. I understand that the older generation talks shit about these generation of players because they've had to work a lot harder. They've had to endure a lot worse conditions. They had to endure being underpaid. And then you got guys out here making $300, $400 million and don't want to fucking go out and earn it. That's why, the Magics, the Charles Barkleys, the Shaquille O'Neals always be talking shit. People get down on Shaq for talking shit about all of the centers of this era because everybody wants to shoot threes and nobody wants to follow the basic fundamentals of, the jump hook with the left and right, the post-up game, the finishing at the basket to overpowering, the other center and dunking, The basic fundamentals of being a center. And before I get done with this, I just want to talk about the influx of Achilles injuries and stuff. And I think that is just simply because a lot of people have too many dribbles. It's just too many dribbles. You're moving your calves, your ankles, your knees, your feet. You're moving that, and you're sucking up all of the goddamn clock, no diddy. You wasting a lot of time on the clock doing 50, 11 dribble moves. If you look back, everybody want to laugh at Jordan's era and want to laugh at Kobe's era and try to erase their legacies. But those guys had 2, 3 dribble moves and they got their basket. 1, 2, layup. 1, 2, jump shot. Okay, they got in the post. 1, 2, 3, turnaround shot. Just like that. Everybody want to dribble. Everybody want to be Kyrie. Everybody wants to be Allen Iverson. Everybody wants to be, and one. Everybody want to be hot sauce. Everybody want to be professor. Everybody want to be Escalade. Nobody wants to be Jordan. I mean, a lot of people want to be Kobe, but we're not going to get to that. But I'm just saying, in conclusion, these guys literally got on here and talked about how they weren't going to be the bitter hating old heads, but you're sitting there laughing at Kevin Durant taking shots at Michael Jordan. It's just the hypocrisy. All right, y'all. I'll let this bitch run 10 minutes. But this Kingdom NBA Music Talk, and I'm gone.